Today with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, if you look on that gigantic, sharp, interactive board, the first thing you're probably noticing are those scales of justice. And then you're going to see some logos. You know, for a while, I've been talking about how these folks that run these DCA tool companies, when they describe the things the DCA tool does, it sounds like you're on a merry-go-round and they just kind of talk really fast and all kinds of does everything, the internet of everything, it's going to do everything, cook the toast in the morning and everything. I decided that I would try to explain what's going on between Valsoft, MPS Monitor, and Oberon Americas in the way that they would explain how the DCA tool works. You ready? I got my magic pen in my hand. Let's go. So we got Valsoft out there. Valsoft is a giant private equity group out of Canada. Valsoft buys a company called MPS Monitor, a DCA tool out of Europe. MPS Monitor, the DCA tool out of Europe, has a company here in Americas called Oberon Americas, and they're the exclusive distributor of the MPS Monitor DCA tool here in Americas. And they're doing a great job. If you listen to the leader of Oberon Americas, talking about the DCA tool, he's talking kind of like I'm talking right now, really fast. You're like head spinning. You're like, what in the hell is this guy even talking about? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it gets a little bit better. So, there's a company called Predictive Insights. Predictive Insights, well, they're a company that sells the EKM DCA tool. We all know the EKM DCA tool. That's the one that was bought by Tech Data in Europe. Now, of course, Tech Data is called TD Senix. But I did a lot of videos talking about, holy crap, don't use a DCA tool that's owned by a distributor. Why would you want to do that? You've seen some of those episodes. But anyway, Predictive Insights, they got some owners over there in the company, like all companies do. And one of the owners of Predictive Insights also was sitting on the advisory board of a company called NextEra. And we all know that Valsoft, well, they bought that company called NextEra, and NextEra was a company that helped dealers, enhance their services deliverable. Really great company. I mean, a really good company until the day that Valsoft bought him, in my opinion. But anyway, that was a whole nother episode as well. But anyway, here's what I'm thinking. The owner of Predictive Insights, who was on the advisory board of NextEra, got together with Valsoft and said, hey, here's this company NextEra. You should buy them. Valsoft buys NextEra. And then what happens? Maybe a quick pro quo. Hey, Predictive Insights, are you really happy selling the EKM DCA tool? Why don't you sell the MPS Monitor DCA tool here in Americas? And the folks over at Predictive Insights probably said, well, don't you have another company that has an exclusivity to sell that DCA tool in America? A company called Oberon Americas? And then I'm thinking that MPS Monitor said, don't worry about that. We'll just cancel that exclusivity. We'll let you do it. Holy smokes. Folks, it's kind of like a merry-go-round. It's just crazy stuff, a lot of drama, but I got to ask all my friends a question. Why the hell participate in this drama? Why? I mean, do you really need to participate in all this crap? Ladies and gentlemen, this whole thing is getting crazy at all levels. Over the last, at least 2 years, I've been talking about DCA technologies in the hand of distributors. I've written articles. These are some of the episodes I've done. The legal battles. I mean, we were having legal battles with this thing back in July of 2023, almost a year ago. The DCA wars in June of 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, I believe it, and I'm really going to be sincere here. The DCA technologies that are available today are really fantastic technologies from all the players. The problem is, they all got really good with the technology at the end of the game, not at the beginning. Nobody gives a crap about print management technology. No one gives a crap about a pie chart, a quarterly review around print. That is such a small percentage of customers. These DCA tools have a purpose. And the purpose is really to collect the meter and make sure the customer doesn't run out of toner. And I know a lot of you, Ray, it's a lot more than that. That's not, these things do all kinds of stuff. They're the internet of everything. I mean, you've heard the arguments. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, if you ask any DCA tool company what the people do with the DCA tool they have, I guarantee you 99% of them collect the meter and make sure the customer doesn't run out of toner. So, folks, we've all seen what's going on in the marketplace. And I want to share with you what I believe the marketplace needs to do. And this is to all of my dealer friends. My dealer friends, we need an organization. We need one of the organizations to kind of figure out a way to bring in like a legal team. Maybe like a lawyer on staff. And then this lawyer on staff is there for the dealer's protection. The hell with the OEMs and the suppliers. It's all about the dealers. We need an organization that can help dealers navigate the litigations around our ever-changing world. And folks, we need vendor agreements. We need dealer protection on all vendor agreements throughout the agreement's distribution chain. We need some help doing due diligence on these software companies. Who owns them? What kind of contracts do they have with their distributors? Can these contracts be canceled? Who's looking out for the dealers? Who's looking out for the dealers? We need litigation experts that understand cybercrime and cyber threats. Ladies and gentlemen, cybercrime, this could be coming from your dealership. It's not the days where somebody steals some printers out of your warehouse and takes them to the pawn shop. What could they do with cybercrime to hurt your organization? We need litigation experts that understand AI and its legal implications. AI, we're collecting more data from customers, from our employees. Who's going to help us with that? Who's going to look out for the dealer's best interest? Geopolitics and contractual implications. Who's going to look out for you? Think about that insanity going on with 9-Star. Banned by the Department of Homeland Security over forced enslaved labor. It took our industry a few months to decide to even talk about it publicly. They put together a panel at one of these groups, and that was the last anybody's heard of it. The industry's media and analysts, they all wrote articles about it when it happened in June of 2023, nearly a year ago. Where they at since? We need someone to make sure that the dealers are being protected. Due diligence and protection of dealers. Could you imagine if folks like Oberon Americas, if folks like MPS Monitor were kind of vetted out before they were allowed to present at dealer functions, if you will? Could you imagine? Hey, we want to understand your finances of your company. We want to understand your ownership. We understand your contractual obligations. Could you imagine if there was a system in place to protect the dealers? I think we should really think about this. This would be a great thing for our industry, wouldn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the articles that were written by Oberon Americas, published in LinkedIn. I'm not going to read all this. It's all public information. But Oberon Americas, I'm thinking they were the exclusive dealer for the MPS Monitor tool until one day they weren't. And how does that affect the dealer community? How does that affect you all? Is there anything that the dealer community could have been prepared for had they had some kind of system in place to do some due diligence? We see it in the Recycler magazine. MPS Monitor files a complaint against Oberon. MPS Monitor, Valsoft Corporation filed complaint against Oberon Americas, alleging trademark infringement, unfair competition, defamation, and interference with business relationships. I'm sure that Oberon Americas is thinking that MPS Monitor and Valsoft interfered with their business relations. Who knows who's going to win and prevail in all this? But at the end of the day, my question to the dealer community is, why deal with the drama? Why deal with the drama? I'm thinking that, some old man stood up in front of y'all one time and asked y'all, do you like your current DCA tool provider? And maybe someone in the front row said, yeah, I called them last week. They didn't answer the phone. They didn't call me back. So I'm ready to switch. Yeah, what do I got to do to switch? I want to switch my entire customer base because they didn't answer the phone. Or, hey, that DCA tool you just shared us, the one that makes coffee in the morning, we got to go to that one because we're sure as hell going to use a DCA tool to make coffee in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't chase all these fantasies without any substantiation. You just can't do it, folks. I want to ask, and I'm sure they're not going to answer, but I'm going to ask a question. And this question is really to Valsoft and MPS Monitor. Why? Why did you cancel the exclusivity with Oberon Americas? I'm not taking Oberon Americas' side in this. Maybe they did something wrong. Who knows? But I'm asking why. If you listen to Oberon Americas, if you read the articles that they've written, if you read what's on their website, it appears they were doing a pretty good job for MPS Monitor. What happened? Why was the grass greener on the other side of the fence kind of thing? And I think this is a lesson for the dealer community. It's a big lesson for the dealer community. Will one day, as I predict, Predictive Insights sell off to Valsoft? I really believe they're going to do this, ladies and gentlemen. And when they sell off to Valsoft, how's that going to affect your relationship? And some people might think, I don't really want to have a relationship with MPS Monitor. They might be thinking, hey, I'm glad I'm with EKM in Predictive Insights. Of course, if Predictive Insights sells off to Valsoft and MPS Monitor, I don't think they're going to be delivering the EKM DCA tool, unless, of course, Valsoft buys EKM from Tech Data. That's a possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I think there's a question here. Why? This is a lesson I've talked about a lot. But I want to bring the story home with this lesson again. And the lesson's around Forza. We all know Forza was the ERP that was going to do everything for the imaging channel and actually did nothing, right? Come on, let's be honest. Konica Minolta gobbles the thing up. I'm reading a press release when Konica Minolta acquired Forza. And this press release has got some things in there that I wish I would have paid attention more to this press release when it was actually published, because I probably would have beat the hell out of it then. But we all knew there was some concerns when Konica Minolta bought the Forza ERP. Dealers were a little bit upset that we're on it. Our data is going to be with Konica Minolta, who owns the ERP. I mean, it was a lot of confusion. And it was Konica Minolta that engaged the council of the BTA organization. It was Konica Minolta that engaged the council. It doesn't say on there that the dealers engaged the council for the protection of the dealers. It says in this article that based on the reputation of the leaders at Konica Minolta, of course the best interests of the dealers are in mind. Okay, you know what? That's pretty crazy talk, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, who was the benefactor after Konica hired the BTA lawyer? The dealers or Konica? I believe it's time. The time is now that our dealer friends in the industry really start thinking about their own protections. The OEMs are our friends. Our suppliers are our friends. But the OEMs are big boys and girls, and the suppliers are big boys and girls. But at the end of the day, the dealers need to make sure that their protections are being looked after. And there wasn't once a time when that was really the way it was. But when I read this press release when Konica bought Forza, it just kind of reiterated to me that the dealers kind of gave up, it seems. And they've kind of outsourced their protection, if you will. And maybe the dealers need to reconsider this. Maybe the dealers need to pay more in dues to get the protections they need as our industry changes. Because it's going to get tough, ladies and gentlemen. You think it's tough now? You think competition's tough now? Competition's going to get really, really tough as the industry consolidates and constricts. And the lesson in all of this, I believe, is a lesson for the dealers. We're going to see lawsuits come and go. We're going to see friends involved in lawsuits that come and go. We're going to see OEMs do things that we don't like. We're going to see OEMs do things that we like but others don't like. But at the end of the day, one of the things that dealers must do is protect themselves. And they need to start thinking about how they're going to do that moving forward. Because times are changing. Maybe it's time for some real change. Because everybody watching me knows this: status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.